Hi everybody, I'm Holly at the Holistic Wellness and Detox Center, and welcome to the post-eclipse week. I hope everybody's doing okay. Last week was a little bit of a doozy. So this week, each week, what I have noticed for a while now is that a theme comes up, sort of bubbles up to the surface among my clients, my family, my friends, and myself. Each week there's something new, and it seems like everybody who comes through the door, everyone's sort of dealing with the same root thing. Last week, what came up with all of the energy from the eclipse was looping. And I think, if we think about it, we've all kind of been there. We've had something on our mind and we can't stop thinking about it. And we just keep looping. We had an experience and we keep thinking about it over and over and over again. Last week's energy was really heavy. It was really strong. And I think it was really pushing to the surface a lot of deep-seated pain and trauma. It was very inflammatory. For me, childhood trauma found its way to the surface, and it came out in a really strange way. And it took me a while to figure out what that was. But what happened was, there was a very silly incident that happened. And with that trauma kind of coming to the surface in the subconscious mind, it blew into this big giant, earth-shattering thing that was really silly. It was really nothing. But through that process, my mind just kept reinforcing this little thing that was like nothing. But it was being fueled by this old energy that I didn't know was still there. And so through the looping process, I caught myself doing it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Holly, you need to start practicing what you preach, and you need to identify that this is not you. This is a subconscious program that's running, and pull yourself out into your observational mind, your higher mind, or conscious awareness. And what I recommend for people to do, and this is what I do in my meditation every morning, is when a thought or something negative arises, I'll just recognize it. Just recognize it with your observational mind, your higher mind. And just like you would do if you had a friend who was grieving, and a lot of pain. And, a lot of times when we're going through something like that, or people are going through something like that, they just want somebody to be there. They don't want you to say anything. They don't want you to talk or try to fix anything. They just want your presence. And so in these situations, what you can do is just find your way into presence and be present next to that feeling, that thought, or that emotion, and just sit with it and just feel it. And what happens is an alchemy happens. Somehow these two energies just kind of fuse together, and that problem just kind of washes through, and you allow that energy, that attachment to whatever that thought or feeling is, to just sort of wash through you. And the thought may come back up again. I was looping all day long, but each time that it came up, I would recognize it. I would sit with it in presence and let it just kind of integrate. So that was a big lesson for me. And throughout the week, I noticed that started on Wednesday, but the eclipse actually started last Wednesday. The full eclipse was Sunday night. But we were really working through this energy all the second half of last week. So talking with clients, talking with friends, I started to notice that was the pattern. The people I was talking to and working with, they were just on repeat, just like an old broken record, just saying the same thing over and over again, reinforcing negative energy, reinforcing negative thought patterns. And so the healing that I'm offering for you today is energy to help you recognize these negative reinforcing thought patterns and transmute that energy and turn it into more of a positive reinforcement. We will feed energy into things that we give our attention and intention to. So if we're feeding energy into maybe how sick we are, or how somebody did you wrong, or how your computer isn't working, and you're just kind of looping and focusing on those negative things, those things get bigger. And so if we were to just kind of switch it a little bit, switch our perspective on it, and start feeding into the positive things that we would like to see, thankfulness, gratitude for the lesson that you've received, and maybe something that you've learned, and a new way of being, or a new way of looking at yourself or other people. Really trying to focus on those more positive outcomes, because really, when life throws us challenges, those are our biggest learning moments. Those are our opportunities to grow and evolve as a human and as a collective human species. So we really want to embrace that and put that positive energy into the other side, because typically things are okay. on the other side, as long as we get through it, you know. So the healing today is, the intention is for healing energy around helping you to reinforce positive energy versus looping and paying a lot of unconscious, subconscious energy into the things that we do not prefer, into things that may be painful or self-destructive. So that energy has been sent out for you. And last week I did a free healing, an angelic free healing, and I think some of you were confused about how to receive that. So this is a distance healing that I have placed in the clouds, kind of like we call it a chi ball, but it's sort of like a cloud of energy that's sort of been uploaded to the universe for you. And it just sits there until you, with your intention, decide to download it or to receive it. And all you have to do is say quietly or out loud. I do recommend getting into a comfortable position, a chair. You can do it before you go to bed at night if you want to, or you can lay down on a couch, but wherever you're comfortable and it's quiet. And you just take a couple of big deep breaths and just say out loud or to yourself, I intend to receive the healing sent by Hollie to help me pay more attention to destructive patterns and help me to find ways to improve the way that I look at the challenges that come in my life, or something like that. The universe is very intelligent. It will know exactly what you're asking to do. And if you sit there in your presence, you will probably and hopefully feel that energy flow through you. Just like a regular energy healing that we would have in person, it's the same thing. It's just as if you were in the room. There is no such thing as space or time in the world of energy or quantum physics. So that's how these things work. So this is my gift for you today. I hope it's helpful. It was really, really, really helpful for me. By the end of the day, last Wednesday, everything worked out just as beautiful and more beautiful as it could. The problem that arose actually worked out. It opened up communication between me and another person, which improved our relationship. And I'm much happier now for it and very thankful for that. So I hope this works in a similar way for you. And I look forward to seeing you again next week. Have a fantastic week, and we'll see you soon. Bye.